speak, but Anu has given me 15 minutes because of the interceptor. So I might rush up on few things. And so I was yesterday observing, and I was sharing with Anu, your team, that what I saw, and I was observing sitting in that corner, and the breakout sessions, I think that was like speed dating, okay? And it happens, and that's because itne time mein you want to meet so many people, but in relationship, then you want to build in speed dating. What you'll do is, apne 50 logon ko mila, then you'll decide whom you keep the relationship with, because that's what is key. So maybe, so out of all whom you all met, just quick show of hands, how many of you all have made a conversation with more than 5 people? Not just hi, hello, conversation and exchange numbers and WhatsApp numbers. 5, 6. Great. What about more than 10? Deep meaning conversations. No, that's right. So, another thing is when we attend forums, and I've attended several forums like this, and it's my passion. So, most of the time we come for the gyan. And I think actually that's a completely wrong thing. Yes. The same thing of your video and all that Anu is going to put up in YouTube very soon. So you could see every speaker and everything is available online, right? What we should do, and that is one of the things of changing the lens, is come here. If you have a kid before and you know whether it's for a job or for fundraising or whatever, you know the participants. And if you keep that mindset, you will use your time more than listening to speakers, of course, which is important, but using the offline session, also then you know there is a targeted connect whom you can want to connect with. And I think that I've seen many people just go, khana kha rahe, ye kar rahe, daru pee rahe, nothing wrong with that, but then you're missing the key essence, because that is a byproduct. So I've read many books on networking, and what this book is about, actually my 35 years of experience, and I've just shared it. And 2 books which had key impact on me, not on networking generally, is a book by Eckhart Tolle, which all of us probably, the Now. It's been the most meaningful book. And what I realized, it's a simple, patla book, very meaningful. I carry mein or bag mein carry karta hu. Whenever you have issues with the thing, mind related, I refer to that. It's like a Bible. The second book is by A Man Thinketh by 100 saal pehle likha hoga, James Allen. Again, a 60-page book. It's much before your secret, to sab baad mein hai, but he's actually defined that. And what I feel is, again, on the Western world, I've researched all the networking books. The true one, which is really important still, is those of us who once have read How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yes.
वो ही अभी तक relevant है. बाकी इतने, I'm not saying judgmental. You have come, never eat alone, this, that, falana, dimka. There are 100 books come out, but their mindset is transactional. And again, no judgment. There is nothing wrong to have a transactional mindset. But the way my book, which I'm trying to portray, the human connect, name itself is. So before we were making the name of the book, sitting with the team, kya likhna chahiye? Some bola connecting the dots, the title, author, ye wo, and suddenly the name came, the human connect. I said, wow, let's close on this because it's all about the human connect. Okay, and I will share. And yesterday, for example, I heard a lot, and my book is again 146 pages before that. About 19 chapters, because I have 3 daughters and said, Dad, don't pakao people. आज के ज़माने में किसको पढ़ने का time नहीं है. Keep the chapter short. Keep it less than 5 pages per chapter. Give a key takeaway. Make it a quick read. And इसके बाद podcast जरूर करना, because now people are listening. So I'm just incorporating all the lessons in that. And I will illustrate by a few stories on where I feel if you don't have the transactional, and the whole purpose and the whole ethos is, it's in giving that we receive. We are here from the social sector. कितने लोग ऐसा दिल से follow करते हैं, I honestly don't know. But if you change that as a mindset, it's in giving that you receive, it will work like a magic, and we'll all become human magnets. And I will illustrate that by few stories. One story is about, I'll start with a medical project. Lions Club of Lions Tarachand Bapa Hospital, that's in Sion. It's a 100-bed hospital, and I'm one of the trustees there. I was sitting quietly, and they were tabling a thing that they wanted to set up a cardiac unit, completely cath lab. Okay, and the budget was coming to 5 to 6 crores, and they didn't have the money. They have the resources to put the doctors together. Paisa nahi tha. And then, because as you mentioned in my bio, I'm a president-elect of Rotary Club of Queen's Necklace. We have got solid loaded members, 185 plus, and we have a lot of funds available. So I just shared that, listen, this is a need. All I want you all to do is meet the trustees of the hospital. Just one meeting. If you all feel it is good enough, and you'll do all your whatever you all discussed yesterday, analysis, impact, falana, jo bhi karna hai. After that, if you feel it is worthwhile, it will happen. And you trust me, that conversation, I had that one meeting, and it translated. Today we are doing the maximum amount of heart surgery. It translated to a project of $1 million converted. The cath lab is built, everything is done. It was a combination of Rotary putting money, some HNIs, and we something called as a Rotary, grant, etc. वो सब मिला के that project, and today it is actually catering to the BPL population, and we are doing more surgeries than even Sion Hospital does in Mumbai on angiography as low as 5,000 rupees. So किसने मुझे पूछा तेरे को क्या फायदा हुआ? You know what I had to answer that from my heart is karma, good karma. And they said, so what is the good karma? Then I don't want to get philosophical about it, but the more you do, the more you feel good. Yeah. And the more you feel better, it translates into more energy. And if you have more energy, your mind is clearer, your life is clearer, and then you, even in your business life or your corporate life, you achieve more. That's how. The second story is another more powerful in a different way, how I met President Obama. As mentioned, I worked with the US consulate and various other chambers of commerce. So one such meeting had happened, and US consulate people had kept a dinner in Mumbai. For that time, he was a classmate of President Obama. His name is Vinay Tumalapalli. He's a Hyderabadi American settled in USA. So they were keeping the dinner for him, and there were about 15-20 people, and a private dinner at Taj Lands in Bandra. So uske baaju mein, fortunately, I was sitting next to him. And while I was conversing with him, all that, I said, sir, where are you from and all that? She said, I am from originally Hyderabad, and my wife is from Northeast. Okay, I said, oh, at that time Netflix ka time nahi tha. So I said, have you seen the movie Mary Com? To which he said, what is it about and all that? So I mentioned that it is about a boxer, wrestler. So he said, oh, lovely, I wish I could take it back to my wife and she could read it. And that was evening, we wrapped up, and I stayed in Bandra only, and he was leaving next day in the evening. So while going back, a thought struck me, and I went to one of those bakadas. That time those video ka bakadas, they sell those things. And I said, Bhai Sahab, aapke paas Mary Com hai kya? The princely sum of 50 rupees, I bought that Mary Com. I came back to Taj Lands and put it in a cover, gave it to the concierge with my stapled my visiting card obviously, and put my number down and send it to, said whatever room number, because I didn't know that. Fast forward to next day, I got a call at about 12:30. He said, thank you so much for remembering all that. Again, that happened. We kept in touch on LinkedIn. And then about 6 months later, there's a program that the US government does called the Select USA program, and it happens in Washington, DC. I managed to go there, and then President Obama is speaking and all that, and he said, oh, Vinay Tumalapalli is my roommate, not even classmate, roommate, etc. And then I didn't know, because there are larger groups and there are smaller private dinner meetings. And Vinay somehow, while I was passing, he saw me on the passageway. So I went to say, Arey Vinay, kaisa hai? So, there are 6 bodyguards who just, it can't done that way. He said, no, he's my friend from Mumbai. And next what happened is, there was a private dinner with President Obama. He said, Manoj, you're my special friend, you should be there. And I got a chance to meet her one-on-one. So what do you translate that to? What do you translate that to? That 150 rupees DVD? There was no thought, there was no effort, or no, it's just I did it because I wanted to do it. I said, uski wife ko acha lagega. So, said it was done without a purpose, but the impact is huge. I'll give you another example, but this is more again a human example. A friend of mine, and before COVID, her father had cancer, CAR T cell, and they were looking for a CAR T cell therapy. Now, CAR T cell therapy for cancer in US is about 3 to 4 crores, and in Israel, it is about 1 crore. And there's a hospital in Israel called Sheba Hospital, which does CAR T cell. So she's very well-to-do, but everybody wants to save money and then go to Israel versus going to US, also distance, etc. So she said, I know you know the Consul General. I need 2 favors. I need to know, is Sheba mein hospital, is it fraud or good? Because I keep hearing it's so good. And I have to remit some money for my father's treatment. Can you validate whether this can be useful for me, which could be useful for me? And again, somebody who was working in the consulate had gone back to Israel, because they rotate, all the diplomats rotate in 3 to 4 years time. Went back, and I just sent him a message, because again, keeping in touch is very important. There's another message here. So just because a man has moved after 3 years and uska position nahi hai, we have that typical kursi ko salam attitude, has to change. You have to be in touch with that person wherever he goes. And today's area of LinkedIn, WhatsApp, Facebook, whatever we adopt, we can stay in touch. So I stayed in touch. I reached out to that person, and he said, no, let me find out. Yeah, 5 minutes ago. Let me find out. And post that, anyway, the validation was done. It's a good thing. Then she needed a visa for Israel, a medical visa. Again, I intervened because it's a medical cause, and translated, and that happened. Unfortunately, her father passed away. She could send him there, but the whole thing was staying in touch, being connected, and actually, I've given examples of a medical project, I've given examples of a thing. One last example I've given, because I want to tell stories, because rest, if I tell everybody, nobody's going to buy my book. So, and it's going to be available on Amazon already. But happy to, of course, have a lot of online conversation, because for me, it's the conversation which matters, it's the Q&A which matters. And I've actually take sessions for corporates and others and all that, who have issues, because many people have issues in terms of, and again, using the word networking is negative connotation, is building a human relationship. My entire theme is building a human relationship. I'll again give you another small example of how human relationship I tried. So Mumbai, a couple of years back, there were heavy floods, lot of rains, and once I met again the Israel Consul General. In that time, the earlier one, his name was Yaakov Finkelstein. So he said, Manoj, I've just moved to a house in Riviera, it's in somewhere near Mahalakshmi. There are some leakages. He told me and again, power of listening. So I listened to him many months back. And one of the lessons also, we need to listen well. Listen to him. And then, jab ye rains hua, then I actually called him up. I said, listen, it's raining. Is any of your staff anywhere around who's traveling and who's stuck because of floods? They can come home, stay with me, have a hot meal. And if you also have a problem, please come, whatever. Neither did he come, neither did his staff come, but for that moment of mine, I built such a strong connect. And I'll tell you, that's how I met the Israeli Prime Minister. That his name was Benjamin Netanyahu. He was on a visit to Mumbai. There was a famous selfie he had taken, and there was one dinner. When they come, they have several dinners with corporates and all that. But there was one dinner where there were only 25, 30, only media and entertainment, likes of Amitabh Bachchan, Karan Johar. I had no place to be there because I'm not for media and entertainment. I was the only non-media and entertainment guy in a room of 30 people. And then he walks around and he stops on the table. He said, he's my true friend from India. And I took a personal picture with Benjamin Netanyahu. So I can go on and on. These are powerful things. But again, I did not do it with an agenda. And that lens has to change, because if fake karoge, people can make out. The best people can make out who's a fake. So you have to change the mindset, change the lens, approach life. So when you're meeting people, think of what you can do for them rather than what you can get from them. If you change that, people will say, "Arey, but mujhe," and nothing wrong in saying that fayda kya, it will come. But depending on which career path you are in, we are discussing with your team. Some are aspirational for the job, some want to go up, some are looking for funding, corporates are looking for job change, etc. But I feel if you apply this magic of operating from the heart and trying to help people rather than what's in it for me principle, that is 98% of the world follows that. If we remain in that 2% or 1%, I don't know, or 0.5% of that follows that, I can promise you, we'll become a human magnet. आपको job चाहिए, क्या चाहिए, everything will come, because the last is who you know is more important than what we know. We all have the knowledge, we all have the degrees, etc. So I'll pause here before she does that. I'm happy to take questions. I could go on and on, but I'll just stop.
Thank you, Manoj. Could I have a mobile connect? You just give me a mobile number, more than a human connect.
9, I can give to everyone, because 98211-49366. I'm also on LinkedIn.
98211
49366. And Anu can share.
49.
Yeah, sure.
Manoj, I could relate with many things you say, and thank you for this. So one thing is, like you said, you reach out without any agenda or anything, and then sometimes, being human, you reach out, you try to do your good step forward, and then you feel, but I think that's the time you should say it's panning out, it will take time. So is that fine? Like, sometimes you feel